The Big Play Reflog Show is brought to you by ShackNews.com. Shack News is the place to be for gaming news, covers all your gaming content needs with a bunch of game reviews, interviews, walkthroughs, and guides. Right now, you can go check out their hands-on previews of Watch Dogs Legion, as well as the new Assassin's Creed game. Also, go check out their streams on Twitch. They cover everything in gaming, hosted by Asif and Blake over there. Hilarious, laid-back gaming content. So if you like quality video game content, Shack News is your spot in quarantine. Check them out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at the handle at Shack News and at shacknews.com.
Hi, everyone. Tim Kinzer from NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. You're listening to the best podcast on the air, Boom Shakalaka.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Free Shakalaka. Reflog. It's just golfer backward. Boom Shakalaka.
Welcome to the Big Play Reflog Show. Today is Monday, July 13th, 2020. I am your host, Big Play Dave, alongside my main man, Mr. Chris McNeil. How are you?
How are you?
I'm fantastic. One day away, Chris. One day away.
Mere hours, my friend.
And welcome back, Breezy Clee.
Hey guys,
How
good to
are
see
ya?
you again.
How have you been? How was vacay?
It was good. It was, as we were close to home, which is good considering the amount of cases that are happening down south. So you don't need to be catching that coronavirus twice,
I was going to say, aren't you immune? You're like a superhero now.
Yeah, I guess so.
At least they think so, maybe.
That's right. Yeah, we actually don't have no idea what it means.
No one knows anything. That's 2020. Oh well. What can you do? All right, so you know what? First of all, let's go ahead and talk about this. So, Chris, one day
Yes.
away from your big birthday. If you want to let everyone know, I know you've been tweeting about it, but go ahead.
Well, tomorrow, in a few hours, I turn 41, which basically means that I can no longer, in good conscience, tweet out this video. Which is very upsetting. I'm a man. I'm 40, and I will no longer be 40. I can no longer use the great Mike Gundy's clip and say that with, a clean conscience, because I will actually be 41. So I'll have to drop it in a few times in this episode.
That's right. Have someone edit it up to make it 41.
I am still a man, and I am still 40 as of right.
That's right. All right, we got a great show for you guys tonight. So tonight on the show, we will kick it off with Power Rank Monday. Top 3 most disrespectful things you can do in sports. After that, we will have our featured interview with professional boxer who lives right here in Cleveland, 12-0 Charles Conwell. I believe he's ranked 11 in the world as the latest ratings. Pumped to chat with him about the Cleveland boxing scene, a whole lot more. We'll then break down this week's Cleveland headlines. Got quite a few. After that, we'll hit you with our Would You Rathers, give you our bold predictions for the week. But let's kick things off with some Power Rank Monday.
It's time for Power Rank Monday.
All right, so the Indians have been doing some intra-squad scrimmages this week. Chris, you said you were watching these on, was it a stream?
Yeah, so you
Where
can't
is this?
watch it, but you can listen to the radio broadcast that right now Tom
okay.
Hamilton and Rosie are doing. And they've had 3 games. I've got one going on right now. And, it scratches that itch that you have right now for sports. At least it does for me. I miss Tom Hamilton, and he allows me to have that backdrop on my daily.
Yeah, big time. And then I saw one game, Lindor somersaulted into home plate after homer off Clevenger. Your boy.
Clev, my boy.
Your boy, Chris.
My boy, Clev. Yeah, Lindor took him
Yep.
deep and then went around the bases and did kind of a somersault, I think it was a somersault. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
I
It's
the-
think
like
so.
a half cartwheel.
Yeah,
Ooh,
cartwheel
nice.
type of thing across home plate. It was fun. It's pure Lindor.
Yeah, not disrespectful at all. But we're going to power rank top 3 most disrespectful things you can do in sports. I'll kick it off with my number 3. I'm going with the bat flip.
Oh, you're
No,
old school.
Dave.
Old school.
I
God,
love the
get off
bat
my
flip.
lawn.
I love the
Okay.
bat flip.
Okay. So
But
you're saying that ironically.
no, I mean you do that. You do the bat flip at a pitcher. That's disrespectful. I like it though. I like it.
Okay. Yeah.
Number 2. You run up the score. Also, I like it. I would love
Also, I like it.
I love all these disrespectful things. I would love if the Browns are up against the Steelers like 35-0 in the fourth quarter. Case Keenum just to go absolutely ham on them, 72-0.
Yes. I'm down for that.
Chris, is that okay with you?
Your boy Case. Oh yeah. Did you see
Gotta
him
work
playing
him in.
golf over the weekend?
I did not.
Yeah, he played in that golf thing. They had it out west, Lake Tahoe, and they had a bunch of celebrities. And Case Keenum was one of the contestants out there. I think he was middle of the pack.
I love that he made celebrity status. That's great.
He did.
My number 1, when you leave the tunnel before the game without shaking hands, don't be an Isaiah Thomas.
Or Sammy
or
Sosa.
Or Sammy
He just
Sosa or
left
Steph
the
Curry.
game.
Yeah,
Got caught on
Shake
security
their
film
hands.
when he lied.
that's right. So, yeah, I don't like that one. I like the other 2. I don't like that one.
Yeah.
Shake the people's hands. Chris, what do you got for us? Top 3.
So mine are pretty specific here, Dave.
Okay.
I did some research on these. So number 3 falls under the category of spitting.
Ooh.
Mm.
So I had three in this category. So for my third, I've got 3. I'm just trying to make this as complicated as possible. 1991. Do you guys remember this? Sir Charles Barkley, then of Philadelphia 76ers against the Nets. He spit on an 8-year-old girl sitting courtside. And that was the beginning of where he said basically that athletes are not role models. That started that whole kind of thing with Nike.
Was
But it
that
all
a
started-
purposeful spit? Like he actually meant to spit on her? I don't remember that.
No, he didn't. He
remember the quote.
of course, played it off like it was a big mistake and that wasn't what he meant to do. But he spit on an 8-year-old girl sitting courtside. I mean, come on, Sir Charles.
Yeah, that's messed up.
The second one was was Roberto Alomar. Do you remember the
Oh, I
Alomar
remember
spitting
that.
on John Hirschbeck back in 1996? He was not yet a Cleveland Indian, so everything before was, those are sins that he had to cleanse before he got to Cleveland. But that's when he was with the Orioles and he spit on John Hirschbeck, and that was a big deal, as you might imagine. At the
And
time.
that was a big spit, like a big wad. I remember watching
big.
that in slow motion in standard definition.
And my last one for some of you mainstreamers who only concentrate on the big 3 sports, in golf. Sergio Garcia back in it was 2007. He missed a short putt for par, and he bent down and he spit into the cup. He spit into the golf hole. Like no one does that. And Sergio's like reaction to that when the media asked him about it was like, I just opened my mouth and the spit just kind of came down. It's like, what, Sergio?
No.
It was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. And if the age of COVID, all 3 of these things are just unexcused. Okay, that's category number 1. Number 2.
So many dings.
So I've only seen this once, Dave. Throwing a ball from the mound over the center field wall. Of course, this happened last year. Mr. Trevor Bauer against the Royals. Soon to be free agent, Trevor Bauer, by the way. So be watching that in the shortened season. After this season, he is a free agent. So what is going to happen with Trevor Bauer? We will see.
Who is that disrespectful to, would you say?
I'd say the game. I just go broadly
Just the
the
game.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
You sound
mean,
like a 41-year-old.
I do. I
Don't
do.
disrespect the game.
The baseball gods are not going to smile upon that. Of course, the baseball gods don't smile upon Trevor Bauer for most of what he does,
No.
for that matter. But God love you, TB. You got to come back on our show. My number one. Calling a talented defensive end on a team who has been kicking your ass by using a racial slur and taunting him, only to have it later covered up by the NFL. That was oddly
That's
specific.
a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So that's my
true.
3, Dave.
I love it. I agree with you there. Bree, top 3 most disrespectful things in sports.
All right. So number 3, I have passive aggressive press conferences, specifically Klay Thompson saying LeBron got his feelings hurt. Do you remember that?
Oh, I wish I could
Yeah.
cue up the LeBron laugh when he heard about that.
I mean, that was incredible. Number
The
2.
NBA has like cornered the market on passive aggressive.
Oh, I love it.
The
You know,
pettiest
between social
ever.
media and pettiness, like
Yes.
the 9 yards, the NBA is all about that business.
Yeah, I'm all for that for sure.
She loves the pettiness.
I love it.
That's right, Bree.
Number 2, I went with intentionally throwing at batters unless the other team is the Astros. So I have an asterisk for the Astros.
As there always should be.
Correct.
Absolutely.
And then finally, number 1, when you go 0-16 and constantly say, I need to watch the tape.
Oh, my
Once again, oddly specific. Talking
Very
about one
specific.
individual person.
Oh, we don't need to rehash that.
You can't argue with that.
It does disrespect the game, I will say.
That's right.
Same with loser parades. Also disrespects all kinds of
Yeah,
games.
that should have been my number 1.
Parades overall are disrespectful anymore.
And that is Power Rank Monday. All right, we are going to bring in our guest here. We'll be back in about 30 seconds. Charles Conwell coming on the line, 12-0 boxer here in Cleveland. Awesome things coming from him. We will be right back with Mr. Charles Conwell. And here we go. So on the line, we have professional boxer, former Olympian back in 2016, Cleveland's own Mr. Charles Conwell. Charles, welcome to the Big Play Reflog Show. How you doing, man?
Good. How you guys?
We're doing real well. We're doing real well. Thanks for taking some time with us here. So you're 12-0 as a pro from what, Cleveland Heights?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A lot of people here. So we got a bunch of mainstream boxing fans, watching the show here. Here in Cleveland. Tell us a little bit about boxing here in Cleveland. Do you train here? What's the scene like? Are there other top ranked boxers from around this area?
There's definitely a lot of talent in Cleveland. Like I said, even up and coming talent and talent that's already professionals. Just I feel like Cleveland doesn't give their fighters a lot of notoriety, but there's definitely a lot of fighters here they're doing their thing and that's winning and just looking good. So.
It's funny you mentioned that because I remember the first time I saw you fight was here in Cleveland. I think it was 2017, a few years back, at the Masonic Temple, and with Showbox, and you whooped that dude, by the way. But the venue was kind of trash, man. Like Showbox here in Cleveland, Ohio. I thought we would have this will be at like the Wolstein Center or downtown or somewhere cool. And we're walking in, we're like, man, Lou DiBella needs to step up his game.
Yeah, I heard it was really hard to get that venue, to be honest. I heard
Was it really?
They say it was really hard to find a good venue. I just think that place was way too big and it was cold in there. I still remember that.
Why is that? Like, why don't we have more boxing events here in Cleveland? Any idea?
To be honest, I really don't know. To be honest, I think it's like I said. I think it's hard. I think they need a lot of. I don't know. I think it's just hard. I don't know. I don't think it's a lot of support here. I guess. I don't know. I don't think so. I just don't think there's a lot of support here, and a lot of people won't come out. I guess. I don't know.
Isn't that weird? Like, I mean, you're like a world-class athlete. You were in the Olympics of Rio. You're almost top 10 in the world ranked in your what? Are you super welterweight?
Yes.
Okay. Like, are you hanging out with Cleveland athletes like the Lindors of the world or Stipe or like I feel like you should be in there with them. What's going on?
Yeah.
Nah, to be honest, I actually don't even hang around really no other athletes except boxers. To be honest,
Okay.
even though I have been to Stipe's gym, strong style out there, strong style, and I seen him train, I seen him spar and stuff like that. Because he spars boxers too, get his hands right. So I seen him spar. I've been around him before, but to actually hang out with him, nah. I think he's a little too old for me too. he's like I'm still young.
I forget how young you are, man. You just turned 22 not that long ago, right?
Yeah, November. I'm about to be 23 in November, so I'm 22 now.
Okay.
Oh man, I feel old, Dave. I feel real old right about now.
We all
I'm gonna
do.
tell him that I turned 41 tomorrow.
Oh,
I
man.
work that in somehow.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
I was fishing.
So Charles, you were. I'm not very good at math, but 2016. I mean, you were young going to Rio for the Olympics. What was that experience like?
To be honest, I thought I wasn't gonna be able to make the age limit at first. When they had changed the age limit right before, like in 2015, right before the Olympics. So I had just made the qualification. So I was happy though. I got a chance to fight in the Olympics. And since the Olympics, since like 2004 or something, or 2000, I think since like 2004 or 2008, it been an Olympian from Cleveland every Olympics. So I'm proud of that.
Wow, that's
Kept
awesome.
that legacy going.
Yeah, absolutely. So boxing's a confusing sport for mainstream people. Like, there's a bunch of different belts, a bunch of different weight classes. Who's the current champ, like, in your weight class, in your division, and why is this guy ducking you?
Like you said, it's a lot of different champions because each weight class has four world champions. So it's like 3 world champions in my weight class because one champion has 2 belts. So it's
okay.
Man,
it's
like
time for you to
gotta
unite the belts. That's what you got to do: is unite them all, take them all home.
Yeah, easier said than done though.
It's easy for a 41-year-old sitting on this side of the microphone. I tell you that.
Hard to get them deals done. People with different promoters and different stuff like that.
Yeah.
Money problems, and it's just a lot. So it's hard.
So what are you doing right now during quarantine to stay in shape? I know the gyms have been closed, now they're open, but what did you do during that time when things were shut down?
I was still working out, where I train at. I actually train in Toledo, Ohio. I don't really train in Cleveland that much. When I'm in Cleveland, I just basically just do like little light stuff like hit the bag or just run. I don't really do like a full out training here. I don't know. I know I love Cleveland, but it's just like I can't really focus in Cleveland. I like to get away and just focus
Yeah.
straight on boxing so I can be the best I can be.
There's too much cool stuff here in Cleveland, man. You got to go to Toledo for that.
Yeah, somewhere where it's a little bit more quiet. I can keep my head clear, keep all my family and friends, and
Yeah.
just stay disciplined, stay focused. That's why.
So we've seen a lot on all the precautions like the NBA, MLB, the NFL is going to be taking, trying to keep players in a bubble or doing other strategies with COVID.
Mhm.
What, if any, precautions right now has the boxing world been taking for the virus or any direction that you've gotten?
Yeah, like you said, they've been doing like the little bubble thing. They've been having no like audience in the crowd, so everything just been like on televised, just stuff like that. They've been testing for coronavirus before the fight. You can't leave the bubble like none, or the fight get canceled. So it's like you said, just like any other main stream sport.
No
So
sneaking in
Showtime,
girls like the NBA or going out for
None of that.
food now.
None of that. You can't even have your family there. You can't. I don't even think you can. I think only like you can't even have your manager there unless you like the main event. So it's crazy now.
Sorry, Dave McWater.
Right.
so Showtime's back August 1st. What's up on deck for you?
Man, nothing set in stone. They just tell me to stay ready, but things are
Okay.
definitely in the works. There's nothing set in stone yet. Like you said, just things keep getting pushed back or canceled because the COVID thing. The numbers are going back up. So I'm just staying ready just in case I get called. In the spur of the moment, there's been a lot of people just getting called. I'm just gonna stay ready so I don't have to get ready.
Yeah. So for those listeners that don't know, you were involved in the tragic fight last year with Patrick Day, where he ended up dying days later. I know you spent a lot of time reflecting on life, on your future in boxing. You wrote that your heartfelt, a very heartfelt reaction during that process. Do you feel like you're in a good spot now? And what did you learn through that? And what do you do to move forward and keep pushing yourself every day, having that kind of in the back of your mind, I'd imagine.
To be honest, I really just try to like to push it away. Boxing is a hard sport, so
Yeah.
to have something like that on your mind, like during the fight or during training, you really can't get yourself on. You really can't do 100%. So I really just try to push it away as much as I can, like in the back of my mind, just not really think about it. But sometimes it comes up. I just try to stay positive, just be around positive people, talk to my family and friends, and just things like that.
How good did it feel to get back in the ring and get that next W? That was back in February? That was like right before COVID, right?
Right before, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad I went right in before that, but it felt real good, just to get the edge off and just to get my mind right. It just really gave me a peace of mind and just like comfort, just to know like, all right, like it's back to normal. I can be normal, like it's fighting. I'm back fighting. Just feel good. That's like any other serious athlete. They love their sport and it's like therapy to them and it's just comfortable. It's very comfortable. So it was good to get back in the ring.
So when you do get back in the ring and you're in that fight and you're in the moment, do you feel yourself hesitating at all, or does that creep in your mind at all? Or are you just locked in on what you got to get done that day and you're back to being a boxer?
To be honest, when I first started, my coach said I did it. I really didn't think so, but my coach said I was a little hesitant. But I guess as time went on, I got back to my normal self and just let everything flow like natural.
Back to bad news.
Yeah.
So another Ohio fighter, Boom Boom Mancini, had this happen to him as well in his career. Did he reach out to you at all or offer you any advice?
Some people was telling me to reach out to him and that he wanted to reach out to me, but I was just like, I wanted to be with myself and just be with my family and friends and so secluded. I really didn't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be like,
Makes sense.
just stay to myself and just get my mind right and things like that. So I just stayed to myself. But if we ever get the chance to meet up, I'd love to talk to him and whatnot. Just not, it don't have to even be about that situation. It can be about boxing or just life, period. I can just talk to him.
All right, I'm going to switch it up on you. I assume you're a Browns fan hailing from Cleveland, right?
Yeah, I don't really watch football like that, but of course I'm always going for the home team.
All right, well, so then we have an unbiased opinion here. Do you have anyone that you think is going to have a breakout year this year? And what would your prediction be? Since you don't follow along, I'm curious to hear your prediction. No bias.
To be honest, I really don't. Like I said, I don't really watch football, so I'm just gonna go for the home team. Like I said, I really would love the Cleveland, to shine. Cleveland Browns to do something so it can shine light on on the state and other sports in Cleveland. So I really go for the Browns. Even though I don't really know much about football.
Can we get a record prediction out of the 16 games? How many wins?
Don't you
Hopefully
say
there's
don't you
I would
say
love
0
for
and
him to be
16.
undefeated, but
Yes,
I
yes.
would love for him to be undefeated. So I'll just say 16-0. Why not?
This is my guy.
Oh my
Perfect.
God.
That's what Bree says every single year, 16-0. She's now 0 for life, by the way.
Okay,
Unless you reverse it. I mean, we did have an 0-16, but we didn't count that for you.
that's true. It's true. Couldn't have been more wrong.
So speaking of predictions, you mentioned Stipe earlier. He's got a big fight in August. Did you watch the UFC at all, or you don't get really into that? You stick more to boxing?
I be into the big stuff. I just watch the
Yeah.
highlights and just read about it, but I don't really like go in front of the TV and turn on like the UFC fights on. But I read about it. I would definitely stay tuned to Stipe though. I know he about to fight Daniel Cormier again. So
Yeah. I'm curious to watch Cormier weigh in again. But what do you think happens in that fight? You think Stipe yet again defends his belt?
I'm like you said, I'm going for the home team. I love for Stipe to win.
Smart man right here. Smart man.
Plus, I actually seen him train. I seen him spar and stuff like that. So I always got to go for people I seen do the hard work and seen it with my own eyes. So I'll go for Stipe.
Okay, very cool, very cool. So you don't know when your next fight is. You know, coronavirus is kind of messing everything up, obviously. Who is there anyone you'd like to fight next? I know it's tough, like in boxing with all the different deals, and you mentioned it. It's you never know what's going to actually happen. But who's out there you'd kind of like to take down?
Ideally, I would like the fight I really want is like a either Rosario. He had the guy with the 2 belts. You know, Jason Rosario. They had an upset over J Rock. Or Patrick Teixeira. In the perfect world, I would love those fights, but realistically, I think I would love to fight like an ex-world champion or like a world title challenger, something like that, who has experience, who's been through those championship rounds, and give me those championship rounds under my belt. So I really like to fight somebody like that, or like the 1 to 2 champions I said.
Do you do much like calling out boxers on social media? I feel like that's a popular thing to like start getting things going, getting the ratings going, and finally getting that fight ready to roll. Are you a shit talker, Charles?
Nah, I'm to be honest, I'm really not. That's not even my style. But I would only do it if someone like had pushed me, like just kept like badgering me. Then maybe I'd take something back, but to initiate something, nah, I'm not that type of person.
I got you.
Hands for me.
And so, unrelated, I saw you and your trainer were doing a little bit of podcasting, stepping into our arena here. How is that going? What are you guys doing?
Man, he don't really like doing podcasts with nobody else but us. So it'd be like, I'd be like, go try to go on somebody else, like have somebody else come on the podcast. He'd be like, nah, this one is for us. But I like it a lot, just giving ourselves exposure, just learning something new, doing something new, during the quarantine. Why not start a podcast? It's only for the better. So I was all for it.
That's cool, man. That's great. Well, we appreciate your time. Although that's kind of all you got now with COVID,
right,
like the rest of us. But we're gonna be rooting you on next time. We got to get a big boxing event here in Cleveland, downtown, or something like that. Would be really, really awesome. We'll tag Ludabella and we'll get it going.
I'm gonna try. Once I just keep winning, I'm definitely gonna try to bring something back to the city at least one time. Just at least one time next year, I'm gonna keep asking. I'm gonna keep pesting. I'm just gonna keep asking all the time.
So we have a rule on the Big Play Reflux show that once you win a belt, you have to come here into the studio and show it off and show it to everyone here in Cleveland.
Oh, hold on. I got a small little title. I got a small USBA title. I'm gonna show it over.
Bring it. Go get it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it right back.
This is awesome. First belt we've had on air since me versus Nuggets.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh, Chris.
It is, right?
Oh yeah, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's not every day we have a belt around here.
Although this one was not ordered on Amazon. Oh, look at that case.
Look at it. It's a case. Oh man. Someday I want to earn something like a
title. So this belt right here is like for one of the sanctioned bodies, the IBF.
You can have to hold
This
it up
got
a
me.
little bit.
I'm in top 15. I'm number 11 in IBF. So this
Heck
belt
yeah.
got me that.
Oh,
Woo!
Yeah, small
beaut.
UFC title.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, what is that for, Charles?
The IBF title. It's a smaller belt, like a regional belt under the IBF World Championship title thing organization. So this got me into the top 15 with the IBF. So once you're in the top 15, you can fight for a world title at any time. But how it is right, how it's looking right now, no time. Well, they're actually looking for people who will take less, and they don't want nobody with big paydays. But so you never know when you'll get called. So I'm just gonna stay ready.
So if you got a call tonight and they're like, "All right, we had someone drop out. You got to fight tomorrow." Would you do that on like no notice, or do you need that prep time to get ready for an opponent to study him, or you're like, "Give me the title shot"?
Ideally, I will let it time, but for the opportunity, you got to take the opportunity. To be honest, you got to take the opportunity. As long as the opportunity makes sense, as long as it makes sense, I'll take it. But if it doesn't make sense, I probably wouldn't take it. So as long as it makes sense for me and my team, I'll take it. But if it doesn't make sense, I probably wouldn't take it.
you can be ready that quick. I mean, if your heart's in it, you can be ready.
If my heart's in it, if it's the right opportunity, the right time, like I said, in the right situation, I can definitely prepare myself to be ready. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Chris, how about you?
No, I would not be ready.
No, not at 41. No.
No.
You're 40 one more day. Are you sure?
That's right. That's right. In my younger days, perhaps. I don't know. Tony Rizzo called me out, and I wasn't ready for that fight, so I don't think I'd ready actually go against a real heavyweight. Would you fight Tony Rizzo?
Do you know who
No,
Tony Rizzo is, Charles?
No, I don't know who Tony.
He's
Rizzo
a radio guy here in
You
Cleveland.
shouldn't.
I'd pay for that fight. I'd pay for that fight. It lasts about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
All right, tell Tony, me and him got an exhibition match, man.
Yes.
Y'all set it up.
He's the stand-in for me. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I need. I need other people fighting my fights. That's what I need, Dave.
That's right.
I'm getting all for fun.
I'm not getting older. I'm getting smarter.
Yeah.
That's right. Charity event. Charles Conwell versus Tony Rizzo. You heard it here first on the Big Play Reflux Show.
Charles, that is fantastic. You made my night. You made my birthday right there.
Charles,
versus Tony Rizzo, the big fight. Yes.
We greatly appreciate the time, man. Looking forward to things here in the not too distant future with you. Good luck with everything. And tell Timmy Van and Dave McWater I said what's up.
Okay, thank you, man. I appreciate the time y'all gave me.
Thank you.
Right. And that was Charles Conwell. Appreciate the time with his stuff.
My man. Can't wait to line up that fight. Tony Rizzo and Charles.
I love that that's just where the interview ended off with Tony Rizzo versus Charles Conwell.
And he has no idea who Tony Rizzo is.
No, but he can definitely beat him.
You think?
I think maybe, yeah, probably so.
Oh, man.
Good stuff from Charles.
Good stuff.
Super nice kid. Cleveland kid.
So we got to make sure
so
that
young.
we got to stay up on what he's doing. I can't wait to see him fight his next fight. So
yeah, he's got to bring the belt back.
That's right. Bring something to Cleveland, man. That's awesome. You love to see young guys.
I promise to watch boxing to support him.
That's right.
You have my word.
Love it,
Charles.
New fan tonight, Charles and Brew.
Right.
That's right. Breaking news time.
So, Dave, with baseball season kinda starting up, Cleveland Clothing Company is right here to help you represent the Indians in style with their navy and red collection. With a name change imminent, these shirts might be a collectible throwback soon, so be sure to visit any one of their locations downtown on East 4th, the Summit Mall in Akron, in Shaker Heights, or right here by the Big Play Studios in Crocker Park. And if you shop on their website at clevelandclothingco.com, remember, use our promo code BIGPLAY20 to get 20% off your purchase.
That is right. Go check them out. The Crocker Park is now back open. They got those garage doors that open up, so very airy. Wear your mask and get out there. Get 20% off.
If you can find it, you have to find it.
It is down in the alleyway. Yes, by Yard House.
It is. It's tricky. It's tricky to find. It is tricky to find, but well worth the trip.
That's right. All right, so sports are kind of sort of back in Cleveland. The Cleveland Baseball Club.
Got
a great ring to it. Is going to be playing 3 games. Why can't I say that word tonight? Exhibition. Got it. With the Pirates, Pittsburgh Pirates, beginning this Saturday. Bree, what's your excitement level? I see you got the Block C on there.
Listen, I have been really, really hard on MLB and baseball for the last few weeks because of their ineptitude. But I will say, after watching my nephew's 9 and under baseball league, I am ready to watch some professional baseball players come back. I'm ready. I can't wait.
You're a better person than I. I could not sit through that. No way.
I mean, I was getting pretty hyped for the 9 and U league. So, you know, I feel like this is a little bit of a step up.
Oh,
yeah. I mean,
I've been watching 10 and U. 10 and U. That's where the real action's at.
Yeah, when it's kid pitch, man, it's a whole other ball game.
Oh, it is. The first couple of games that I watched, oh my God, 6-run innings. That's the max. Everybody was taking walks. It was horrid. Now they're getting good. We're getting toward the end of the season. We've only got, actually this week is their last week, but the first week was brutal, man.
Yeah.
Brutal. A lot of walks.
Yeah,
that's
right.
The strike zone is literally it's like a mile.
Yeah, and they still walk.
God bless those umpires. Moving on to a little football, ESPN has ranked the Browns as the second best offensive arsenal in the NFL. Feels like last year when they were on Sports Illustrated. We have been dominating the offseason for 2 seasons here now. Bree, any more pressure on Stefanski, on the new regime? Does it matter? Don't care? I don't know.
You know, we always have a really good off season, but I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it this year. I don't want to hear about how good our offense is going to be. We heard about that all last year. I don't want to hear about it. I have a feeling we're going to be really good. I just want to stay under the radar and get snubbed. I'm fine with that.
Did you see what we won once again today?
No.
Oh yeah, salary cap.
Number 1 in salary cap, baby. How many years running? I mean, that's got to be 6 years in a row. Number 1 in salary cap.
It's pathetic.
I'll take that too.
League banquet.
No, we don't want to win that.
Give me it all. We're going to have to pay Miles and Baker and Denzel and Chubb. I mean, come on, we need it.
I think of the way that hopefully we will want to pay those players, that they're going to be good enough to demand that. I hope so.
Or Case Keenum. I don't know.
Wow.
That was a joke. It's a joke.
I loved it.
Dave.
All right, so ESPN also has been ranking top 10 players at each position. They've been doing a lot of these rankings since there's nothing on and nothing to do. Joe Bitonio, number 7, an interior lineman.
Okay.
Not bad.
I'm good with that. You good with that? I'm pretty good.
Yeah,
with
he's
that.
definitely top 10.
Yeah.
Maybe throw him in top 5.
He's come such a long way. He really has.
Yeah.
I remember, back a few years ago, it was like, will this guy get it? And now he's right there, number 7.
That's right. He is no Austin Corbett. Nick Chubb was slotted as the 7th best running back in the NFL. Bree, I feel like you're getting a little bit angry over there.
Yeah, this
7th?
7th? I'm like, what? I mean, the fact that Nick Chubb reposted this on his Instagram shows you that he's salty, which Nick Chubb is not very public. But I will say, I hope that this eats at him the entire offseason because he is so underrated in the NFL. Completely underrated. And this list just shows you that.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this list, you've got Saquon Barkley. He's pretty good. Christian McCaffrey, probably the best running back in the league.
Yes, I will agree with that.
And then you got Zeke, you've got Kamara, you've got Derrick Henry, who was a beast last year, and Dalvin Cook. I would put him at least top 3.
I agree.
Chubb.
I mean, Derrick Henry kind of got snubbed here too on this list. But
yeah.
I think what I struggle with the most is Ezekiel Elliott being this high up in this going into this year. I don't know. And Zeke's my guy, being an Ohio State guy, but And like, does Saquon deserve number 1 over McCaffrey? The whole
No.
list is fake news.
And this is why they do lists, so we talk about it.
That's right.
Stupid. Let's move to the Big Ten. Big Ten announced that it will only be playing conference games this season. Chris, what are the odds this season's actually going to happen?
I'll tell you right now in Columbus, it is very muted. It is very muted. People are very nervous that Ohio State football is not going to happen. Gene Smith has kind of hinted at it here locally. There's whispers all around the league. It's going to be awful tough if students don't end up coming back on campus, then having football players come and play games and saying that they're student athletes, right?
Right.
I mean, student first, athlete second. Well, then why the heck are you putting them out there on the field when everybody else you say it's not safe to be on campus?
Yep.
So there's a lot of things that we got to get by. And COVID's just, obviously, everybody knows it's just taken off right now. I mean, we thought we'd be way past this. It's just so disheartening. And this is the problem. Everybody who didn't want to wear masks, not getting into that whole thing. But we've been saying this for a long time. If you listen, wore your masks out, maybe we would have football, maybe we'd have fall sports. But right now, all the sports, forget about college football, all of the sports right now are in jeopardy. And I think that's the reason you don't have more excitement around some of these start dates for some of these sports. It's because people don't actually believe it's going to happen. And that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, I don't get why people can't wear masks if your avatar's been wearing it since like February.
Yes, before it was even a thing, I put it on there. I put it on there as a joke, Dave. As a joke. I never thought it would actually become a thing. That was when everybody was freaking out about COVID, and I was like, okay, I'm going to put it out there as a joke that I'm going to put a mask on, and boy, I hate when these jokes come back to bite me, and that happens so often, so often.
So I find myself, even if we do have the season and they only play within the conference, like watching the Buckeyes play against, I don't know, Northwestern or Rutgers or someone who's maybe not all that good. Like, I'm like, all right, I'll watch for a quarter and then turn it off. Anyone,
Big Ten?
anyone, really. I feel like Justin Fields will just blow out all of these guys, and it's not even going to be all that fun to watch.
Wait, whoa. Have we really gotten to that point as a Buckeyes fan? It's like, oh, we win too easily. I mean, talk about first world problems in the Big Ten. Dave, slow your roll on that one. Remember, we do have Browns football at some point that's going to be starting up. And I'm going to remind you of this conversation where you were saying, the Buckeyes are just going to win too easily. I don't think I can watch that. I can't bring myself to watch those blowouts. I'm going to remind you of that when we got Case Keenum out there because our man Baker Mayfield is hurt and we can't move the ball.
Yeah, that's true. All right, fair enough, Chris. Fair enough.
I'll take a cakewalk any day.
I'm with you. Let's move to some Would You Rather.
By the way, I'm gonna jump off from here. You're talking Buckeyes. Did you guys catch any of the tournament down here? The basketball tournament. I'm switching to the ball. No, they play this every year, and they played it this year. The big news is you had Aaron Kraft down here, and he's supposedly playing in his last one. So that kind of lit up the interwebs a little bit around here. Plus, it was some sports, and an otherwise dark schedule. But,
I was wondering why Aaron Kraft clips. Like, I thought they were old clips, and I was like, oh yeah, he's still a good defender.
So people were calling this the last dance for Aaron Kraft because
he
was so beloved down here. And of course, it seemed like he played for the Buckeyes for like 10 years. Of course, got unceremoniously dismissed by the Dayton Flyers in the tournament, and people still haven't kind of gotten over that. And so he came back to Columbus, and his team was heralded, and they were supposed to make a lot of noise in this tournament like they normally do. It's their own tournament hosted here. You bring in teams from all across the country that are kind of a conglomerate of mostly their schools, but sometimes some other players, all alumni from NCAA basketball. And they went down. They were upset. So kind of another unceremonious exit for one Aaron Kraft.
Aaron Kraft. Who's the other white point guard? Paulus. Who he was he a coach for OSU?
Coach for OSU.
No. Did I make that up? Chris
I don't
Paulus,
know.
maybe? Nick Paulus?
Uh,
Who am I thinking of?
Are you thinking about the guy off the bench? No.
No, he was
Ron
a college basketball player for 4 years. It might have been at Duke, and then
Yeah, I
he
think
went.
That's what he's probably thinking
and
about.
then
It's
he
probably Duke.
and then he transferred to Syracuse to be their quarterback for his 5th year.
What?
And then I thought he was an OSU coach on the sidelines. Maybe not. Maybe I'm making stuff up. Google that,
Okay,
and then we'll go into Would You Rather.
I got nothing, Dave. I got nothing. I had no idea what you were
Maybe
talking
I
about.
just made that up. Whatever.
I think you did. We're gonna get beat up on Twitter now.
Oh well.
You idiot! You didn't know.
Well, actually,
Actually, and it wasn't Duke. It was Wake Forest.
yeah. All right, Chris, I got one for you. Would you rather? So during UFC 251 this
Yeah.
past Saturday night, our friend of the show, Peyton Hillis, was tweeting at Dana White, hinting kind of that he might want to fight or something like that. If you had to put money on things happening, would you rather bet Hillis could fight in the UFC or make an NFL roster right now?
He was really pushing this because I had some other people like sending me that tweet to retweet it and get it out there. So of course I did because Peyton Hillis is a friend of the show. But
That's right.
I don't know. With COVID, you never know what's going to happen. Those NFL rosters could get pretty thin. So maybe Peyton Hillis starts looking really, really good. People look at old tape of him with the Browns early on and think, man, maybe he's got one last go. So I'll go for the NFL roster. He'll make the NFL roster before he'll fight UFC.
Interesting. All right. I could see him as a UFC fighter. He's got that big old build. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I get that. But can he fight? I mean, I don't
No
know.
idea. No idea.
I mean,
Who
we
cares?
make these assumptions like, oh, yeah, he's big, he's muscular, he can fight. I mean, you just totally gloss over all the technique that's involved in UFC. And I love that.
That's right. All right, Bree, I got one for you.
Yes.
You missed this whole. So you've been off for a few weeks here. You missed the whole new Indians name discussion that we had last week. So would you rather the Indians be named the Cleveland Baseball Club? Oh God, this Snydenai
Well done. Perfect.
Indians backwards, or the Lindors, and you have to pick one of those.
Listen, I had my own name. You guys didn't even give me a chance to say my own name.
Okay, what's your own
What's
name,
your own
Bree?
name, Bree?
The Cleveland Clouds. And I tweeted about the Chris's face.
Hell no!
No, come
The
on, you
Cleveland
guys.
Clouds.
Yeah, the weather. It's mostly cloudy all the time. Think of how cute our little mascot would be as a cloud with legs. I love this.
No.
Indians marketing and promotions. I hope you're listening right now. Just go ahead and fast track this idea because I think we've got a winner.
Bree, we have
Better than the
we have
Snide and I.
That's very
Hey,
true.
now, don't
That's
you be
very
ripping
true.
on the
But
Snide now.
we have sunshine here sometimes.
I think clouds makes a lot of sense.
You
That's
think
all.
clouds, and what do clouds bring? Rain, and then you think rain delays, and Bree, that's a
Can't
bad
ignore our
spot.
history.
Oh, listen to you.
I mean, I do like the baseball club, but I feel like that's like a little league all-star team though, kind of.
Yeah, that's kind of why I like it. It's very generic.
Oh, okay.
Very generic.
Generic.
How about the team formerly known as the Indians? They just have an unpronounceable C. How about the Blue Sox? That's kind of come up. It seems like it's more national people talking Blue Sox.
I feel like
No.
that's
Really wanna
gaining a
see-
little steam.
They want to see the Red Sox, White Sox, and then Blue
No,
Sox.
I hate that.
red, white,
boring.
and blue, go America. And it seems like it's all being pushed by national folks who just think that that's a perfect solution right now.
I like the alliteration. So something with the C, like the Cleveland cookies, the Cleveland cupcakes, the Cleveland clouds, the Cleveland coyotes. I don't know. I like the CC.
I got 2 other options that I won't say on a family show.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Just saying. It comes right to mind. Or
You
the
have to
Cleveland
say it.
Cheapskates. We could say that.
Oh,
It's a lot more
not
PC.
bad.
You know? Hopefully,
I did
Indians
like the one-
Promotions is turned off by now, because otherwise I won't be on any of their lists anymore for freebies.
Bree will not be a positive social media influencer for them anymore.
come on. The clouds. It's perfect.
Now, okay, now that we're on this discussion, are you guys both in the same boat? I am of the Washington Redskins needed to change their name.
Yep.
I didn't think that Redskins was appropriate. Did you guys feel that same way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the Cleveland Indians, do you feel the same way, or do you feel differently about the Indians?
I feel a little bit differently about it.
Do you think it's because you're biased because it's a hometown, or do you think there is a difference in the terms?
I don't know. I haven't heard that many Native American people speaking out against it, but then again, maybe they're not on social media, or maybe there's been meetings about this that I don't know about. So I kind of err on the side of caution. If it's offending people and it's legitimate, then change it. I don't care. It's Cleveland. That's why I like Cleveland Baseball Club. I like rooting for Cleveland, and I like having Cleveland on the jersey.
How about
I would agree.
Our college, Dave, 24 years ago? We
So
took care
progressive.
of that. It's right. The Miami Redskins went to the Miami Redhawks 24 years ago. And what was the impetus for that? They got a letter from the Miami tribe, and the Miami tribe asked them specifically to stop referring to themselves as the Redskins and stop that kind of Indian imagery and wording and everything else. And so they did. They did, and it became the Miami Redhawks. And I was one of the first Redhawks, if not the first class, to go all the way through as a Redhawk, I think. So there's a little bit of history for you. But
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now here locally, I'm in Granville, and they compete in the I don't even know, the Licking County League, I think is what it's called now. We have the Utica Redskins, which are still the Utica Redskins to this day. And I think Vince Guerreri, our great Vince Guerreri, who's full of just all kinds of knowledge, some of it useful, most of it not, said that there are 24 other schools, I believe, throughout Ohio that have Redskins or some sort of a term, a derogatory term for Native Americans. So be interesting to see what happens to the schools across Ohio.
Yeah, I think there's probably a lot of schools that are Indians as well. I mean, same thing. Like there's probably a lot that needs to change. So
all high schools right now are just looking for new clip art for their logos.
I mean, Clouds is a great one. I'm just saying for all of you high schools.
They could do what Granville does, and you could see that on my computer. They could just steal the Green Bay G, paint it blue, and call it the Granville G. Granville Blue Aces. The Blue Aces.
It's like the Browns, no mascot. It's just a helmet.
That's right.
Let's not go there. All right, it's time for bold predictions.
Bold predictions.
All right, my bold prediction for this week, I think that Charles Conwell versus Rizzo is going to gain significant traction this week, and we might have to live stream it here at Big Play.
I tell you what, I don't know about the national sports schedule, but we could really fill up a sports schedule. We've got that bout, and then we got me versus Browns that's supposed to happen here in the next few weeks. That's my golf match against the owner's son of the Browns, JW, as well as
Nathan Segura. Way to go!
And Nathan Segura, there we go. And I'm playing with Lee Foster. See, that was easy for me to get out. But yeah, we're playing that, and that should be coming up. I have been in contact with JW, and he says that they've got a couple of dates they want to run by me, and I think it may happen. So,
what's going to be the wager for that?
Yeah. So can't wait for that.
What are you guys betting?
I don't know. We don't have, Lee looked up both of those guys' handicaps, and I'm a little scared.
They're good, yeah.
JW is a 4, and Nathan Zagura's like a 1 handicap, and that's verified if they've got it in the system. And I don't know where Lee was pulling this from, so I don't know if I should be sharing this on the air, but he gave it to me anyway. I mean, I probably legitimately, if I was in the system, I'm probably only about an 8. So I don't know. This is going to be tough. So if we win this one, that would be a big deal.
I mean, I feel like there's probably going to be a little bit of a fear factor if they're playing with at Reflug 18. Probably some nerves with yeah.
Obviously. Well, I have played once this year and I shot even par. Did I mention that?
Well
before?
done, sir.
I was 1 under going on to 18. I 3-putt 18 to go to even par for the day. My only round so far, Bent Tree Golf Course here in Columbus.
Did you give a bold prediction? I don't even remember.
My bold prediction is, do we have a ding for this?
Yeah.
Give me a ding. J.R. Smith, our buddy who now plays for the Lakers, gets quarantined for escaping the NBA bubble and running to the liquor store shirtless. I think that's got to happen.
100%.
Deion Waiters also gets busted with him doing something else. I mean, in one night, both of those guys.
Any chance they finish that season?
I don't think so.
No.
I really don't. And the NBA players are already getting themselves into trouble. I mean, it's a circus. All of the sports are a circus. It's good times. But hey, this week in Columbus, we've got Muirfield.
That's right.
We've got the Memorial. We've got Jack. Nobody can watch it. You can watch it on TV, but you cannot attend, unfortunately. I would be out there. I told Shelly Meyer that I'd be sitting in her backyard, but apparently she didn't like that idea after a while. She played along with it, and then she blocked me. But, yeah, so we got the Memorial this week.
There we go. Bree, bold prediction from you.
Yeah, I don't know how bold this is, but the Indians. Oh, shoot, that's not this weekend. Is that next weekend?
That's all right. You probably won't show up next week anyway.
This is going to be my bold prediction for next weekend. I got nothing. Florida's going to break their own record of COVID cases.
Oh, my God. We're betting on COVID now. Come on.
The U.S. is back to number 1.
Yep.
We were promised to be back in that position, and we are. America is great again.
That's right. All right, thanks for tuning in on that note. Thanks for
we didn't bring up Lindor getting jettisoned at all this episode, so I'm pretty happy about that.
That's right. We made it all the way through.
There's a positive.
Thanks for tuning in to the Big Play Reflog show this week. We will see you next Monday night, 9 p.m. Big shout out to Charles Conwell. Go follow him on Twitter at Charles Conwell. Phenomenal things coming from him. I saw him in person boxing. He's the real deal. So we're gonna have him back on at some point here in the not too distant future, I'm sure as well. Huge shout out to Shaq News, Cleveland Clothing Company, and Bree. Thanks for coming back. Always good to see you.
See you next week.
See you guys.
Hi everyone, Tim Kinsler from NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. You're listening to the best podcast on the air, Boom Shakalaka.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yes.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Free Shakalaka.